When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everyone. Came on just a second early there. How's everybody on this Friday? How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Bob, Shannon, good to see you. Boaz, Janet, how are you? How's Angels, Brent? Some people snuck in. I couldn't see the names there. Sorry. I crack Damira. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Marlene. How are you? Good morning, Lynn. Hello, hello. Teresa, good to see you. Everybody got their notifications this morning, hopefully. Hey, Cully. Good morning. It is Friday, so we usually have a lighter crew on Fridays, but we shall see. I have Gracie here with me, so hopefully she'll be calm and cool and collected. Shabbat Shalom. How are you, Daniel? Hey, Dawn. Hey, Robin. Good morning. Good to see you both. As you're coming in and retweeting this and inviting in your followers, hey, Deb, I'm going to quickly read to you 1 Timothy 4. Now, the Spirit expressly says that in latter times, some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their own conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from foods which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and know the truth. For every creature of God is good, and nothing is to be refused if it is received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of God and prayer. Amen. So, hey, Rocky, good to see you. I know, it's been forever. It has been forever. Amen, amen. So this is Open Option Friday, so we can talk about anything and everything that you guys want to talk about, of course, within, respectful and decency, putting in there. Hey, you behave yourself. She's probably going to start acting up. I don't know. It's not my day. I wanted to say, too, hey, Lewis, it's this morning we did hear the news about oh God, Anthony Bourdain, very sad, yeah. And Daniel, some people have pointed out to me that he's not resting in peace, that he was at best an agnostic, may have been an atheist. My response to that is, I wasn't there at the time that he hanged himself. Hopefully that he accepted Christ before he did. You can only hope that he won't have eternity in hell. Hey, Steve, how are you? Yep, only God can say. And I know people some are being very harsh about that, and I don't want to disparage a dead man. And I think it's kind of sad because it seems that a lot of people are starting to take that way out, which is very sad. But I think it's a reflection of our society being one of that seems to more value death than they do life. Good morning, Sherry. How are you? And that's, again, that's very sad. I did want to mention, too, Shannon had put something up in regards to a 2-year-old girl that's missing in Bullitt County, Kentucky. Her name is Charlie Campbell. She's autistic. Supposedly, her grandfather left her in bed and was there at 5:30 in the morning. And her grandmother didn't wake her up. And I guess around 9:30 she went and to wake her up. And she basically was gone, and so was her dog. She has blonde hair, brown eyes, wearing a blue frozen pajamas, and hopefully they find that little girl. Again, she's 2 years old. She's not very verbal, from what I understand. Uh, Boy, I tell you, I don't know how you, as a grandparent, you're going to second guess yourself, I guess, on why you didn't go to the room, why you didn't do this and that and the other. Who knows if she was taken? Who knows if she got up and went out herself? Who knows? I hope they find her. I hope they find her alive and well. Hey, Junior, good to see you. God bless you too. Robin said suicide is becoming an epidemic because people need Jesus. I believe that, Robin. I'm trying to get a crew to go out searching later. That is for the thanks for the prayers. You're welcome, Shannon. I hope they find that girl. We had an incident like that in San Diego, and people wondered what happened to the little girl. She kind of was out of her room and just disappeared. And actually, somebody came into the house and got her, which is just absolutely amazing that somebody has that much. I don't want to say the word I'm thinking in my head, but that they would go and search for a girl, go into the house and get somebody like that. My dogs are going crazy. This is going to be one Friday morning. Hope you don't mind barking and coughing dogs, because that's what you're going to get. Write a new book. The tip of the tail is chasing me. I know. Sorry, late. We were fighting trolls, Barbara said. That's terrifying, missing a child. Hold on, I have to say. Abby, hush. They're hearing every noise today. So we do hope that that little girl is found and that she's safe. Hopefully I've taken care of the monitoring problem or the moderating problem on here and people getting put in timeout. I think I've gotten rid of that. So we'll see. Yep, the president did land at the G7 summit in Canada. Boy, he seemed to have gotten there really quickly, too. That was pretty amazing. Why do people not lock their doors? I don't know, Barbara. I mean, you and I grew up in a time we didn't have to lock your doors. But they do today. Abby, hush. Hopefully people who take the live silently repent before. I hope so, Daniel. And I hope people start finding another way rather than committing suicide. Prayers for them to find her, Robin said. Dawn said, gosh, just the other day in South Carolina, a grandchild under the care of grandparents, and she left him in a hot car and the child didn't make it. Yeah, Robin said, I have quite a few barking going on here. I can relate. Good morning, Amanda. Good to see you. Yeah, I think that we live 30 minutes from in cold blood. Barbara said, now we install security alarms and cameras to feel safe. I know, Bob. It's like a totally different time. And we used to leave the doors unlocked. I don't even think we had a key. Hey, Alexis, we didn't even have a key to the front door that I recall. I mean, we never locked the door. No one locked doors until then. Yep. Ben said, hi, the latest news. I lost 2 Christian friends to suicide. Ben, this is this is an open option Friday where we talk about a lot of things. The latest news is that Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. What's going on with that? But we'll see if we can get them back up. I don't know that we can. Okay, here we go. Reconnection successful. We'll see if anybody is there. Wow. Already running okay. All right. Hope everybody can still hear me on YouTube. We're back, but who knows? Bourdain's girlfriend was one of the first to accuse Weinstein of sexual assault. Wow. Yeah, I know, Dawn. I'm back now. For some reason, it just shut down. I was talking about the Anthony Bourdain suicide, and it shut down on YouTube, but it's supposedly back up now. I have quite a bit of barking. Okay, Rocky said, dang evil Russians. I know. They're always trying to get us. But a doorknob is only 3 feet high. Maybe I don't have to imagine how that's possible. Teresa, I have no idea. When I heard that, I thought that was really weird. And I have no way to explain it. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. And it's amazing, too, because it seems that more and more people are killing themselves, by hanging themselves, which to me is an odd thing anyway. My best friend, oh boy, I missed that so fast. Sad for Bourdain. I don't think he was a believer. He wasn't, Alexis, as far as I know, unless it was a last-minute thing. I was wondering what happened. I went out and came back, and there you are. Was Anthony alone in France? I don't know, Lynn. They said his best friend was there, Eric, who found him, I guess. And, again, who knows what was going on in his life? Why now? He was in France filming one of his shows. Just kind of odd. Sadly, demons enter people when they are weak. Seems like it, Barbara. It is strange hanging. It's demonic for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot, and a lot of times, it seemed like it used to be that women didn't choose that way to end their lives, and now more and more women are doing that. So, and it could be that he saw what happened to was it Kate Spade, and then decided to do it as well. I don't know. I don't know what makes people. I mean, I do know what makes people do it, but why they do it at the times they do it, I don't know. So anyway, I mean, it's a very sad, very very sad situation. I wanted to tell you guys too before I forget it. I got a instant message today from a man who I interviewed on my shows a long time ago. Well, it's not been that long, but maybe 6 months or so ago. And he made the movie called Delay, Deny, Hope You Die. Oh, he did have a drug problem, Cully said. I didn't even hear about it. Hey, Renee. And that Delay, Deny, and Hope You Die is about the burn pits that are now, it's starting to affect the veterans that are coming out. This documentary is a very sobering documentary. You're going to hear more and more about these burn pits. If you go to IndieFlix, IndieFlix.com, you can sign up for 1 week free, 1 week trial, and you can watch Delay, Deny, Hope You Die for free. So that's what was given to me this morning to pass along to people. So if you want to do that, and if you want to see that documentary, it really is worth seeing, because as I said, this is going to become, I think, a pretty major issue for many veterans. You're welcome, Ben. So it's IndieFlix.com. IndieFlix.com. Stop. And again, I guess you sign up and you get 1 week trial, and you can watch that documentary for free. It's pretty, like I said, sobering. It's the most selfish act someone could do. Leave behind nothing but sadness and anger. Yeah, I've had clients who have walked in on their mother who had hanged herself. As as you would imagine, changes your life forever. Embracing life is the key to living a happy life. Yeah, if people can do it. What's new with Gracie? Well, she's laying on the floor growling. I have no idea. Today she seems a little bit more, I don't know, rambunctious, skittish like. She, as I told you, I think yesterday, she hates going. Hey, Amber, she hates going outside at night and the early morning when it's still dark. And so we have to take her out, of course, and it's traumatic for her. Yes, he hanged himself. Is it Cromer Man? Embracing life, Jesus is the life, yes. Knowing God and Jesus is your friend is your best defense against evil, yes. Gracie tired from chasing that red light. Is she house trained? Yeah, Bob, she is. She'll go to the door and tap on the door when she needs to go out. But yesterday I had her, and you saw probably my timeline, I had her chasing a little red laser beam, and she's like a little cat chasing that. Yep, Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. Yep. My boyfriend shot in her head. But your best friend shot herself in the head. Oh my gosh, Lynn. Ugh. Robin said, our dog Ginger likes chasing bugs. It's so funny to watch her. I know they are funny. She wants attention. Yeah. People who have suicidal tendencies don't know how to embrace life. Why not call 911 before hanging to save family from seeing that? Amber said. Amber, I think all the things that we say about people, like you saying, well, we should do this and we should do that, and why, it's selfish and all that. But a lot of people, and I've had a lot of patients who are very depressed. Your mind doesn't go there. You don't think those type of things. You just want to make the pain stop. And that's, Shannon says, I've been there, right? And it's very hard. They do plan it, Amber, but it's like anything else. I mean, if they have the pain, a lot of times they just, and it could be they think about it, and then they just find the moment to do it. And, it's very difficult. And I don't. Tortured souls, yeah, I think they are tortured souls. My life is not what I want it to be, but I just embrace my life for what it is now. And that's a great attitude, Renee. Rebuke the demon of suicide. Absolutely. And as our society becomes more and more death oriented, I think you're going to see more and more of this. It is an illness. It's definitely a mental illness, Barbara. Good morning, my lovely Sue. Sad news on Anthony Bourdain's suicide, but he also said he would serve the POTUS poisonous mushrooms. I know. I read that just that he did say that. I remember him saying that. There are often signs. Yeah, may God bless his soul. Hopefully God will have mercy on his soul. A doctor in Waco put a note on the door to the housekeeper to call 911. Wow. They are without hope and possibly consumed with worry. Yep, depression deprives a person of rational thinking. We shouldn't second guess. Absolutely, Julia. Yet it makes me angry at people. I know, Bart, especially Anthony Bourdain and other people, they have children left. And with kids like that, kids coming in and finding them, kids losing a parent, they're never the same. The children never get over that. They may learn to live with it, but they don't really get over it. My cousin shot himself last year with a deer rifle in the mouth. He suffered for years. Wow. Guy from Sons of Anarchy died too. Not suicide, though. That's good, Amber. I talk to God in silence when feeling down. That's good, Renee. Anthony is in a better place. We will join him soon. Well, Crum, I don't know that he has accepted Jesus Christ, so I don't know that he is in a better place. So, I have never known anyone personally that has committed suicide. My oldest daughter had OCD and depression when she was a teenager and thought about it. Through prayer, she overcame it. All Jesus, yes. And a lot of people who aren't strong in their faith, and it's very difficult for them. Think of people trying to live in hospitals, and then someone does that. Not sure I understand that. Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know. But again, also an 18-year-old cousin 2 months ago, drug overdose. Family had no warning. Yeah, for me, I don't judge those people. I don't criticize them because I haven't been in their shoes. Now, I would have preferred, of course, like everybody else, that they would have sought help and wouldn't have committed suicide. But I don't want to judge them because I wasn't there. I don't know their issues. I don't know what their life was like. Probably in a lot of cases, God was not in their lives, and it's a shame. It's a shame that I tell people too. If a person wants to commit suicide, they'll do it. He was a celebrity chef. Makes me angry because others fight to live, and those who appear to have everything do this. Well, and that, Barbara, isn't that just it? We think that people, celebrities and people who are rich and all that we think that they don't have everyday problems. They're just people like everybody else. And money, once again, does not buy happiness. God judges. We should not. Let's pray, educate, and love. Exactly. Shannon, stigma of mental illness has got to stop. Sometimes things sound okay in our heads, but not in text. I know, Wayne. I find no fault or anger. It's sad. Yep. This is making me sad thinking about it. I have very strong empathy. Yep. His poor 11-year-old daughter, she will blame herself. She will suffer a loss of not having a parent, and like I said, it will stay with her. God wasn't in his life. He did not believe in a higher power. He had said that, Dawn said, very sad. It is. Doesn't matter what you have in life. Depression doesn't discriminate. Exactly. Hey, Asher, good morning. Good to see you. Robin says about her daughter now she serves the Lord and is engaged. What a blessing. She's happy. My 18-year-old goddaughter's mother committed suicide in 2007. Is a spirit, remember, sad, very sad. And I think that's one thing that we have to become aware of. And I do believe this, that suicide is on the rise. We're going to see more and more of it. And I think that, a lot of times we're going to need to step up. When you see a friend that's sad, you see a relative that's sad, we're going to need to talk to them more and try to intervene, but not blame ourselves if they, Renee, maybe you can share after, I'm hoping. He could have sought Christ in his final moments. That's exactly right, Amber. And that's what the point I made before you came in. I said people were very harsh about him not resting in peace. And I don't mean in this scope. This is somebody else about him not resting in peace because he didn't believe in God. We don't know in the final moments of his life what he did. My hope is that he did accept Christ in the final moments. It's sad that people have suicidal tendencies, especially if they have accomplished so much in life. And again, Renee, that's that's why we can't judge others. We don't know what they've been through. But I think we should try to learn to maybe help people more if we can, but don't blame yourself if it fails. Maybe better meds and less stigma about mental health. Sally, I don't know about that. I think the stigma for mental health has decreased a lot over the my lifetime. Mental illness doesn't discriminate. Yep, that's true, Amber. That's what Julia said a minute ago. It doesn't discriminate. So I just think that society, again, we're accepting more of suicide. And when it's talked about, it used to be people would say, gosh, why did they do that? They would question it. And it's over medication can be a problem too. Absolutely, Renee. But it seems like suicide has become more and more acceptable. And I think that's where, there's a huge problem. And as our society begins to slip more and more, I think we're going to see more and more of it. It was taboo to talk about years ago. It absolutely was, Sally. And it was something that nobody, like with suicide, nobody wanted to talk about it. The right to die should be legalized. Well, in California, it was. The court overturned that. I don't necessarily aspire to with that philosophy that you have, Chrome. The Bible tells us not to do that. It doesn't give us permission to kill ourselves. But if you want to look at it from the secular point of view, I think there are many in the secular point of view that would agree with you. I had to almost make a friend to go to the doctor because she was so sad, Teresa said. Yeah, and I think a lot of times we don't want to talk to people about it because hey, Nick, we're afraid to get involved, or we're afraid to say something. We're afraid to lose a friend by saying something. But, you might lose a friend otherwise by saying nothing. We are all mentally ill in some fashion. Some of us just don't have official diagnosis. Well, Marlene, that's, a lot of people would feel that way. Hey, Carmen, I think that people have a varying degree. Wouldn't be necessarily, there are people that may have some issues that aren't diagnosable or don't have a diagnosis. Sometimes death is a good thing. No, I don't think so, Chrome. I think that if you're a Christian, you don't believe that death is a good thing. You believe that if you're going to die, you'd want to make sure that you're going to be with God. Yeah, we're all quirky. I have a call coming in, only in for a minute. That's okay, Carmen. But there are some people that have let's say issues that don't rise to what would be classified as a mental illness. But especially in California, issues is a kind word. There you go. But I don't want to call it a mental illness, Teresa, because it doesn't rise to the level of a diagnosis. So if you have an ability to get a diagnosis, then that's a mental illness. So I didn't want to misclassify that, I guess. Wow. I didn't realize that on YouTube, I think you can see part of my head, but I guess the camera is a little bit, maybe it's just my screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. No one knows how they will die. Yeah. And, who was that? I can't remember his name. Stephen Hawkins. He was atheist. And, hopefully at some point before he died, maybe he accepted Christ. I don't know. But I just think it is bad that to go that way. Robin said, God is in control of life and death. Jesus is the answer. I wouldn't be afraid to share the gospel with anyone that I thought was thinking of suicide. I did it with my daughter. It was a hard time. Yeah, sometimes you have to. And you have to get people to choose life. And, so pray for the souls of those that have gone on. I understood. It's just funny. That's what we say here in Tennessee when people act weird. Probably what they say everywhere, Teresa. They have issues. I'm pro-life. Yep. Bourdain had Trump syndrome for sure. Yeah, he didn't like it. Science is the answer to all. No, Chrome, I don't think so. If you believe that, then you believe that science created itself. God created everything, including the people who are scientists, including everything that occurs in science. So God is the answer. God is above all of that. Summit time should be interesting. Should be, John. I hope that they have a lot of good things to talk about. I hope they're not too impolite to the president, I would say. Yeah, there's no such thing as a Big Bang. Hey, Melanie, good to see you. Tell the press corps they have to stop depressing people. Yeah, the press corps, I think, depresses itself. I honestly do. I really do. They just, they're not looking for the truth. Um, and what can you do? Did you guys hear about the Senate Intel ex security director who was indicted on false, well, for leaking basically, but giving false statements to the FBI, claiming he didn't leak. He's a Times, uh, New York Times reporter. Melania's fine. President Trump said this morning the reason that she isn't traveling is because she had a 4-hour operation. The doctor said that she shouldn't travel for at least a month. No such thing as having your life together at a certain age. Life is a journey of experiences. That's right. Trump said Russia should be invited to G7 summit. Do you agree? You know, as far, yeah, I mean, I think if you've got China there or you've got, other countries there, uh, you know, I, yeah, I mean, why not? Do you read the little ticker on Fox what Russia had said if we continue with sanctions on them? No, I didn't see that, Don. I mean, so far we sit and we talk about Russia. It is this whole thing about Russia, 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 trying to interfere with our elections and this and that. We've tried to interfere with Israel's elections. That President Obama did not like Netanyahu and did not want him to be reelected. So, we do that a lot. Other countries do that a lot. Everybody knows about it. So, Russia is some of the other countries that we're dealing with, of course, not Canada or anybody like that or UK, but other countries I'm sure that are sitting at the G7. Um, you could say bad things about them as well. Did you know real something news source owned by Russia? What is that? What is the RT? I forget. Real right? No, I can't remember what it is. I don't pay attention to them. That's why I don't remember their names. Russia pays fair. Oops, I missed it. We is the out. We is the outrage against China. Where is the outrage against China? Yeah. I wonder who will be the next president after Donald Trump. Well, I don't know. It's going to 6.5 years from now, so that's a long time. Hey, Lynn, how are you? Good to see you, Lynn. So anyway, this New York Times reporter said he'd not leaked information. He claimed he didn't know this one reporter by the name of Watkins. I'm sure no other country like Obama. Yeah, probably not. Except, Junior, they like the fact that he bent over all the time and apologized for America. Look, I think we did good with China. I did, Barbara said. Those bots come from Russia. Maybe, Bob. I noticed that on their YouTube channel. Yeah. Ontario voted last night to have a conservative majority for the first time in 15 years. Wow, Shannon. Is there a list of tariffs that countries have on us? You may want to Google it. I know that there are. I've heard, but I didn't go check them out. Bots come from Periscope, in my opinion. Exactly, Amber. I would I would guess that's more likely. Well, Obama was used to bending over. Barbara. I'm not going to read the rest of that, so I'll just let that one go. That's right, almost every time as apology tour. My wife is from Ontario. She is MAGA. Her family or Trudeau lives. They're melting down. Good. That's right. Almost forgot about Barry Obama's apology tour. Yep, taking a bow to leaders. I know, Barbara. I should have known you were going there. I wanted to give you a little update as well on VOP, the Veterans on Patrol in Tucson, Arizona. Yesterday, just lost you on Facebook. I know. I'm telling you, it just goes up and down, Dawn. I don't know what's going on with Facebook and YouTube today. Um, Obama was the worst president of all time. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely was. But let me finish up and then I'll go into VOP. That reporter who said he didn't know the woman named Watkins, who was with originally with BuzzFeed, basically he told the FBI he didn't know her, and the FBI said, "Oh, really? Here's the picture." And in fact, they were dating each other for 3 years, and he was lying, so he got indicted for that. So anyway, that's probably, one of the leakers at least. We'll see. They're trying to make it out like, oh, gosh, this is going to hurt the First Amendment and the rights of journalists. Aw. Well, sweetheart, why don't you go back to the basement, look in the mirror yourself, and, you'll be okay. And yeah, BuzzFeed, another questionable source. Absolutely. But they're acting like this is hurting the First Amendment. It's President Trump. He's going after the media. And in fact, it's not true. Eric Holder signed off on subpoenas for 20 Associated Press reporters in 2013. He also went after a Fox News reporter, James Rosen, as a criminal co-conspirator as part of an investigation into leaked classified information about North Korea. So President Obama went after a lot of people, but of course we're not going to tell the truth. The media is not. They're just going to act like that, this is just President Trump. We all know the journalists lie. Nothing has hurt their First Amendment. They still get to live a lie all they want. Yep, true, Robin. Rosen needs pardon. If Trump went after the media, they would stop press conferences. Exactly. And I would stop them if I could. I know President Trump, he stood there and took questions this morning, or before he left, for the G7. And he answered a lot of questions for them. And, I'm sure in the next day or so, they'll say, why does he never talk to the press? When is he going to come out here and talk to us? Well, he just did. I'm getting anxiety. You're talking about Holder and Barry Obama's shenanigans. I know, Junior. And, Junior, the thing of it is, when that was happening, people were not talking about it. When did you ever hear about them going after the Associated Press or any of the other, journalists because they were leaking information or possibly leaking? You never heard any of that. He does that a lot. Then they say he said things he did not. I know, Barbara. It's true. If you guys could, we're past the halfway point. If you wouldn't mind retweeting this, that'd be great. Yep, CNN, MSNBC kept quiet. That's right. Because, Junior, they didn't want to be under the chopping block themselves. They didn't want a subpoena from Eric Holder. I see pot legalization will send billions of dollars to Canada. Can Trump stand that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the regulations are on pot from this country to Canada. I don't know. I mean, I think that President Trump is for being a capitalist, and that's what works. He wants to see America benefit, and he'll do whatever he can do legally to make sure that that happens. James Rosen called him out and revealed what he was doing, Dawn said. Wow. Let's see. Other information. Right now, glitch when you mentioned Canada. Darlene, there's been little glitches all morning, little suspicious glitches. There was, President Trump this morning talked about the fact, here, let me tell you a dirty story. Your basement is dirty, and now go clean it. So, President Trump said this morning before the G7 that he was going to go, I'll go right, no, you didn't miss it, Renee. Thank you for reminding me. I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so VOP yesterday went out still looking around because they know and they feel very strongly that those people are still right there on that corridor and that they're still trafficking individuals. They had a whole video yesterday. They did find what they say is a human skull, and the police were called. They did get the human skull. At first, I think VOP thought that was a child's skull, and as it turns out, it's supposedly an adult skull. And there's still, a skull just sitting there. And I was watching the video. I'm like, oh, just a skull, Probably gang members doing this. It could be, Barbara, more likely cartel. But they did the video. They went into these, I don't know, where was that? It's in Tucson, Arizona, Sally. They went into like these sheds that were sort of made into houses. And when you went in there, you saw water containers, food left over. Yes, Barbara, there was a video about the skull. Yes. There was children's clothing, and there were pipes leading into the house from the outside. and they looked relatively new. It was almost kind of like a septic tank, but I'm not sure. So they found another camp. Yes, Barbara, they're continuing to find more and more and more. I've been following the VOP. Very interesting to watch them, Robin said. Yeah, it is. Now, again, here's a guy who, he's not, he doesn't have degrees, and he wasn't a professional, and, whatever, on and on and on, who sometimes can get a little hot under the collar and say things. But in reference to that, what I have to say is this. He's a guy that goes out and does things. He doesn't just sit back and say, we need to do this. He actually goes out there and does something. So I know that some people don't like him because he cusses a lot, or he'll say things and they'll say, calm down, calm down. I'm sorry. I'm not judging him. I'm not going to tell him what to do. I'm not walking around in his shoes. I'm not finding skulls laying on the ground. I'm not going after the cartel. So, having said that, he can go do whatever he thinks he needs to do. I'm back here just reporting on what he does, not judging him. Yes, but they are doing what no one else will do. That's right, Robin, they are. Where do you find these videos? If you go to, look up VOP, Teresa, on Facebook. Team Pulaski, I think is what it is. You'll find it. If not, look on my timeline, see what I've posted, and follow that. You'll find it. So, and the police supposedly said from that first encampment they found, they said, oh, no, that's just homeless encampment. And from what I understand, they've now bulldozed that over. So the owner, CMEX, supposedly has bulldozed everything over, where they said that was just, a little encampment for the homeless. I'd be made if I was the one that found that and the police won't do anything. Well, yeah, Chessie, I mean, a certain scoper was saying not positive things last night, and many of us had more facts because of that. Barbara said they just busted a child sex perverts here near Orlando. The thing of it is, there's no way that was a homeless camp. I know, Robin. I know. Again, you've got people who are sitting here kind of already talking about this Operation Backroom Brawl. Here's the one thing that I know. In the beginning, I guess some people were saying, oh, they're just making this stuff up, meaning Lewis, the head of the VOP. I've never met Lewis personally. I've talked to Lewis a number of times. I've known Lewis. It's in Tucson, Arizona, Sarah. I've talked to Lewis for a number of years now, or at least a year I know of. It's probably been longer. The one thing I know about him when it comes to stuff like this, he doesn't make stuff up. He doesn't go out and create things to create drama. He's not a political guy. He doesn't care who the president is or what point there is to make. Craig Sawyer's being cautious, but does admit it looks like holding area for kids. Yeah, Renee. And he's an ex-Navy SEAL. I'm not saying that VOP has it absolutely right and they know exactly what it is that they're seeing. But I think they're pretty much, they know what they're talking about, and they've seen this kind of stuff before. I want to know about Plane Ticket and the lady whose post was in December. Last post was in December. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Barbara. So, post said they refuse monetary donation supplies only. They don't refuse, Susie. It's not that. They don't take monetary donations. And the reason why, they don't want to have to become a nonprofit organization that is then ruled under the government that tells you what that you have to do. So by being, they call themselves Good Samaritans. They take donations only, no cash. You could get them, hey, Sherry, they will take like credit card things like Visa or whatever to buy gas and things of that nature, but they don't take cash donation. They don't take cash. They don't want people accusing them of stuff. Who's talking about it in the scope? Yeah. I'm glad that you are covering this story, Ms. Sue. God bless you. The national media would not touch this at all. Thanks a bunch. You're welcome, Josette. Didn't they find straps on trees and blood? Yes. Dawn, I heard somebody explain that the straps on the trees were sometimes in the homeless camps. They put the straps on the trees to hold things off the ground away from animals. Okay, if you want to believe that, and that's fine, Why were the straps up here where an adult would be, which I get. Okay, you want to hang stuff, you want to be able to reach it. Then why are you putting it down? Why is it about 2 feet off the ground for where maybe a child could stand? Is the child going to get their stuff down? Is that what you're going to tell me? Dull knife with blood. Yep. 4-foot straps won't keep animals away. And Renee, it's so stupid. I mean, you have them on either side of the tree. If you were just putting straps there, you'd put them here, you'd put them over here, you'd put them down here if that was just holding your stuff. I don't know how naive people think that human beings are these days. I know, it is horse manure, Marlene. But I mean, do they really think the American public is that stupid? Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. If they find that this was just a homeless camp, I'm okay with it. He said experts with experience verified what he's saying about how it was set up. Yes, exactly. Sarah, I mean, and Chris Sawyer was out there, the guy who is a former Navy SEAL who's out there doing a story on child sex trafficking. And here's the thing that you got to know, and I've said this 1,000 times: the child sex industry is a $1 billion industry. So you can't tell me that there aren't children being taken somewhere, right? I mean, and what better way to traffic them than to traffic them across the border? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna, if it wasn't happening in Tucson, it's happening someplace else. So go out and find them. And is anybody out looking for the kids? I don't know. Apparently, they're not down at the border looking for kids. So Craig has his own group to out child traffickers. Yep. And there's a guy the Underground Railroad guy. I can't remember. They call themselves something else now. But he's a Mormon guy out of Utah that goes into some of the sickest, vilest situations I've ever seen. Thank God he does it, to rescue children. But it's mostly they rescue children outside of the United States. This is way too disturbing. Well, Sarah, it is. It really is. And nobody really wants to talk about it. So these places are somewhere. This makes me so mad. I know, Chesney. Huge sex trafficking, slavery within 2 miles of downtown Houston Police Department, Sally said. Said needs manpower, volunteers, and campers to get out of heat badly. Yes. If anybody wants to go down and volunteer in Tucson and help them go out there and track these people, then they need your help. And they'll take all the help they can get. They'll take people with an ability to, who know about tracking, who know about what to look for, who can, I don't know, just help them. Unfortunately, Tucson, Arizona is hot. If it weren't so extreme in their heat, I would go down there and try to do something and try to help them. But I can't. I've had heat strokes about twice in my life, and there's no way I could do it. I physically know I would not be able to do it. So, unfortunately, what I'm doing is trying to get the word out, put their videos out, and that's about all I can do. But if somebody else is in, like really good health and can go out there, it's more than hot. I know. Polk County, Florida arrested trafficking workers actually working at Disney this week. I heard that, Marlene. Worse than talking suicide, dang what a day. Yep, I think even if you could only answer phones or run shelter, it would help. Yeah, I mean, if you could do anything at all, it would help. I just saw a post about the Phoenix or being a hotbed for traffickers. There you go. Renee, one of the highest times of sex trafficking is during the Super Bowl. On another topic, Israeli military on high alert and new protests at the Gaza border. Yep, heard that today. Everybody pray for Israel. Hey, Robin, the Hamas is trying to right down there again, the Gaza Strip. So Israel is on high alert. I share videos, but they disappear. I'm not surprised, Susie, because I think that some of the videos that they've put out are disappearing. If anybody has a way to screen capture those, please capture those for VOP so that they will have them. And that's one good thing that you could do to really help them is screen capture that video, send it to them, keep it yourself, whatever. They need, evidence of what they're doing. And so, again, if you have it, you could let them know that you have it. that would be something to help. But they have a lot of people, veterans that are coming out there to help. The veterans are always the ones that come out to help. People do not want to know. That's right, Barbara. Who wants to know about sick stuff like that? I mean, I get it, but the children who are being sex trafficked, they need for people to know, and for people to wanna hear about it, know about it. I just this morning, I guess Jay Sekulow was on earlier today, and I heard something from him. I was a little bit surprised about, in some ways, that it's allegations coming out that Planned Parenthood is not reporting child abuse, and they're not reporting things of like child sex trafficking, and they are required to do that. So they're asking for the Congress is asking for a huge investigation of Planned Parenthood into these allegations. So as he pointed out, when you are raping children and taking them across the border or wherever you're trafficking them to, when they become pregnant, they take them to Planned Parenthood and they get them an abortion. And if things look suspicious, hey Nina, if things look suspicious or there's reason to believe that these children are being abused or trafficked, they are required by law to tell the police about that. And they're saying allegations that they're not reporting. They're a mandated reporter, just like I am. If I find out there's child abuse, whatever, like that, I have to report that. Ethical, they have to tell. Well, it's more than that. So true in Houston, immigrant women were forced into prostitution in stables repeatedly. Oh, wow. And somebody was saying, this is a hard subject and everything on Friday, and it's Friday, and we should be, fun Friday. I get that. And I think the one thing that we could say, Planned Parenthood makes me sick, Robert says, the one thing I think we can say is God is revealing all of this. God is revealing what's happening with these children. God is making this for us to look at, as hard as it is. The one good thing is, I think that's a good thing that God is doing it. Now you can't see the comments. I can see yours, Renee. I don't think anybody's commenting right now. They're just kind of listening. But I think it's good that God is revealing it. I think that it is good that God is letting us know what is happening. And, well, they might be in it on it, Barbara said. Yeah. Women's, that's probably a percentage of their business, so they may not want to report. Yeah, of course. Of course. Teresa, because if you're doing abortions and you want people to come in and get abortions, you're not going to say anything, right? I hope they shut that place down. I really do. I mean, I don't have faith in necessarily that that's going to happen, because I think a lot of these people are going to walk. Today is just another day to continue to embrace life no matter what day of the week it is. That's right, name. But I think, again, it shows us, or at least it shows me, while all this is being revealed and all this is happening, the good news here is that we need to draw closer to God. Hey, Kelly, we need to start praying more. We need to start praying for things like these vile, quote-unquote, human beings that are trafficking children will be brought to the forefront and prosecuted. Like the story about Cora and Callie buying fetal tissue disappeared. Exactly. Well, required not to sell parts too, so what they're evil, yeah. I mean, we have just, we've said this for a while now, that God is revealing all of this stuff. And I don't know what that's about, in politics, but it's in all areas of life. And it's all coming to the head at one time. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that that's happening. And I don't know if it's because God's return is sooner than we think. I know it's soon, but sooner than we think. And he's trying to uncover all of this before. I don't know. It is a different flood. Lynn, and really, you know what? God said he would never destroy the earth again by flood. He said by fire. Man, I think this is fire, too. Soon, and I'm ready. I know, Renee. Dawn said, and we need to remember their days will be numbered. Yep. I see the same thing, watching all come to light. Planned Parenthood needs to be done away with. For good Lord, continue to expose them all in Jesus' name. Josette said, yes. And Robin said, amen. Let the truth come out. Yep. Hawaii volcano. There's so much going on. Guatemala volcano, too. Darlene, there's so much evil to be uncovered. I don't know that we could uncover it in our lifetimes. It's so thick. It really is. All of this stuff was going on, that has been brought out, like with our own government. And while we may have suspected it, we didn't know. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface in our own government. Hey, Jeffrey, good to see you. To wake up the complacent and self-absorbed, yes. Do you remember when Barry Obama would like his Hawaiian trips costing us millions? Yes. Junior, but nobody seemed to care that he would go to Hawaii and that it would cost us millions. Nobody seemed to care. Hey, Jeffrey, no one seemed to care that his wife took everybody on her staff on vacation with him too. And I know, First Lady needs a staff. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed like everybody went. I feel like I've been living under a rock. Well, Robin, we wanted to have faith in our government, and we put our faith in the wrong people. I mean, I don't think there's any more simpler way to say that. Dawn says sometimes it gets overwhelming and I have to step away from it. Yeah, I believe Periscope has helped us to see what's going on. And yeah, in a lot of respects, Teresa, and Twitter too. And now they're trying to change all that, right? No, perfectly said, Susie said. So I think that they're trying to change that now. They sure cared when Trump went to Florida and stayed at his own resort. I know, Robin, and his own house, right? So investigation, Hillary, did you talk about that already? No, Sally, nothing new about that yet. The report's supposed to come out on President Trump's birthday about Comey, McCabe, people like that. Did something happen lately? No. But we're going to find out what we already knew, that Comey and McCabe are liars. Another Hillary investigation. Junior, what should have been done a long time ago, I don't know if he'll do it. He's revealing this for the church to arise and act on this evil for a new revealing of God's kingdom. Could very well be. Oh, okay, in a week or so. Yeah, June 14th, which is the president's birthday. You all have a blessed day. Got to run. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for coming in. Must keep eyes on God. He keeps eyes on us. Susie, our focus should definitely be more on God and less on everything else. I think what we're seeing in the world around us, not a special counsel yet, Sally. Gifts for Post's birthday. Yeah. So, hey, Carmen's back. Carmen also asked us to pray for her sister, Cindy. Cindy, I know, I had a diagnosis, I believe, of breast cancer. I don't know what's going on with her, but please pray for her. And we wish her, continued success in her treatments. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead probably and let you guys go early. I hear the dog tapping on the door, which means I've got to go outside. So I had better go do that. So we're going to end a little bit early today. Wish I had been on this topic earlier. Carmen, go back and listen to the replay, hear all of this. I know, Robin, got to get to the door until the new dog, learns how she should do things. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful week.